some of the other things later. Thank you.
The gentleman from Colonial Heights, Mr. Cox.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, today I want to talk about the part of the budget that probably is the biggest part for all of us in this House, and that's education. The gentleman from Fairfax, Delegate Plum, gave a nice speech about a week ago and asked where my speech was, so Delegate Plum, here it is. On K-12 education, let me start with that. I mean, obviously, our children are our highest priority. There are 1.2 million students attending Virginia public schools, and we've worked really hard to strengthen our public school system over the last few years. 2 teacher pay raises in 3 years. We've reformed the teacher evaluation process. SOL reform led by Delegate Greason in 2014, where we eliminated 5 SOL tests, and we've worked to cut red tape and eliminate mandates. And of course, education is key. It's necessary to prepare our students for the future, whether they be college or career ready. Public education is 30% of general fund spending, the largest single investment the state makes. And the House budget is $897.1 million in new funding. That's more than the governor and the Senate. Let me first of all talk about supporting our teachers. We have tried to make teachers a priority. They are the key to the classroom. We all know that. We have $83 million for a 2% teacher and support staff pay increase effective July 2014. One of the things we sort of learned last time were some school divisions wanted to give a raise in the first year, and that was very important to them. So we provide the flexibility, and they'll get credit for doing that. Also, and I've said this many times, having taught for 30 years, but your pay's not always great, so VRS is key for you. That is something that teachers depend on a lot. We have $55.1 million for VRS teacher retirement payments. We're going to fully fund 100% in 2018 that teacher rate. We also hear a lot about flexibility and about choice in public schools. And we've done those, I think, a lot in this budget. We've added flexibility. We restore lottery funding distribution, which we eliminated in 2010. And this is something I want to thank the chairman, the vice chairman for doing. This is very important. We're sending back $272.7 million to local schools on a per pupil basis. That's 50% recurring, 50% non-recurring, but that's the only strength. There's no match required, and so the bottom line for localities, it gives them ultimate flexibility and helps them keep taxing low. Let me wrap up on K-12. We've had some great responses from school leaders all across the Commonwealth. My own Chesterfield County, Diane Smith, who is our school board chair, says, quote, "The foundation of the House's budget proposal is critical investment in school divisions across the Commonwealth. School leaders continue to seek increased flexibility in the funds that we receive." Virginia Beach School Board Chair Dan Edwards, "The House budget provides much-needed programmatic flexibility for additional resources by not requiring a local match. The House is removing a significant obstacle." And then Gene Bishop, Floyd County School Board member, "Every budget cycle, we face mandates on how to spend our education dollars. The flexibility the House budget proposal includes allows us to direct the funds to the most needed areas without having to raise taxes." So that's K-12. Higher education. We've done a lot in higher education over the last 3 or 4 years. Top jobs legislation, something I know that Delegate Hugo, Delegate Albo, and a lot of our Northern Virginia friends are concerned about. Additional in-state tuitions, tuition slots, which we've added. Transfer grants. Transfer grants particularly have helped with retention, which is a problem in some of our universities. We had athletic fee legislation to address the non-academic side last year. But how about this year? $290 million in new funding to support in-state students. And what does that mean? That means no more than a 3% tuition increase, and we would like to have it much less. You can talk all you want to about access and affordability, but if you're paying 7 and 8% tuition, that's simply not going to do it. If you want to go above that, you've got to go to the governor and state your reasons why you want to go above the 3%. We also have $52.7 million for financial aid, something we've heard a lot from the other side of the aisle, but it's a 40-year-old model. It's got to be reformed. So in the second year, we have said that money is contingent on financial aid reform. And so in closing, I want to say, Mr. Speaker, we want to make sure that we make, obviously, K-12 and higher ed the best in the country. I think this budget helps do that. I'm very proud of what our Appropriations Committee has done, and I hope you will join me on Thursday for giving a big yes vote to K-12 and higher ed. Thank you, Mrs. Speaker.